Talk about some eldar elite choices, and just in general, the elite choices, the eldar are like all awesome. They're great. So you pretty much just like pick and choose which ones you like. I'm just gonna go, real quick, like go through them all and just briefly discuss them. Alright, so let's see. First up are striking scorpions. Striking scorpions are 16 points a model. You can have 5 to 10 in a squad. You have shuriken pistols, scorpion chainswords, mana blasters, and plasma grenades. So, basically these guys are like really good at like tougher units. Not like insane tough units like Terminators. I mean, they're not bad, but I mean it kind of depends on who you play. If you play like orcs, these guys are great. If you play Space Marines, these guys are good. And the reason why is because they all have 1+ attacks, so they all come with 2 attacks, and they also have a Scorpion Chainsword, which is a 1+ strength, so they're actually 4 strength, which is really nice against the guys armies that are a little bit typically tougher, like orcs, like I said, and Space Marines that are 4 toughness, or even Necrons. And also, yeah. So I mean, they're all around great, but that's what I think they're really good for. Like I said, they're 16 points a model. You can upgrade 1 to an X-Arch for 12 points, I believe. Yes. And I mean, how you deck them out is kind of up to you. Scorpion's Claw is not bad. You get a Power Fist. It counts as a Power Fist, and you can use that as a Shuriken catapult in the same turn. Chain Saber is nice. You get 1+ attack, additional attack, so 3, and you also get to reroll any failed to hit and wounds. That's pretty sweet. And the Biting Blade's like crazy. It's a 2-handed close combat attack that gives you 1+ strength, but every hit you score as gives you 1+ strength. So it's, I mean, that can make you really crazily strong, more than you think. You can give them the Falling Warrior powers. You can give them both. I mean, you can give them Shadow Strike or and Stalker, which are the 2 choices, or you can give them one or none. It's up to you. Shadow Strike basically gives you infiltration. This I think is really cool. It's kind of like that. Just hit you before the game really starts, but again, they're tough. 3+ armor save, so it's like it kind of gives you the advantage of hitting the enemy quick in the game, but at the same time they're pretty resilient, so you're not going to die as fast as most scouts. That you think. Most scouts don't really live that long. They're just kind of harass type of thing. And Stalker's the other thing, which basically gives you the move through cover. And it's not bad. I mean, it's nice, but I don't usually use it. Alright, Fire Dragons are your next choice, and they're, again, 16 points, just like Striking Scorpions. You can have 5 to 10 of these guys in a squad. You have the Fusion Gun and Melted Bombs, and you get Fleet of Foot. These guys are basically like your, anti-tank vehicle type. I mean, they just annihilate vehicles. They're crazy. They all have the Fusion Gun, which is 12-inch range, strength 8, AP 1, melted guns. That's crazy. I mean, the range is short, which is going to be your biggest problem. But I mean, you could even kill. You don't even have to. I mean, they are tank killers, but you could use them on monsters, creatures. I mean, you could take out a Carnifex like that. It's going to be a hit or miss, but if you hit them, if you actually roll well, you'll just dominate a unit. I mean, you can kill even Terminators with these. You can. They're mostly tanks, like I said, tank hunters, but you could use them for other reasons, and they can be kind of surprising when you use them that way against like monsters, creatures, and stuff. You can give them an X-Arch for 12 points. You can, if you do that, you can give them like a Fire Pike, which is basically like a Fusion Gun, but it's just more range. It's 18 inches. Or you can give them like a Dragon's Breath Flamer, which is basically just a template flame type of weapon. You can give him Falling Warrior powers, Crackshot, or Tank Hunters, and basically Tank Hunter gives you the Tank Hunter ability, so you add 1 onto your rolls for armor penetration. And Crackshot, you get to re-roll with the X-Arch any failed rolls to like wound, which you probably won't need anyway, but it's still not bad. Next up are Wraithguard. And Wraithguard, I love Wraithguard. They are they're 35 points a model. so they are quite expensive. And I mean, you pay them in a store for like 15 a piece, which is crazy. But I think they're sick. You know, you have a 3+ armor save, you have a 6 toughness, you know, 5 strength. These things are insane. The only thing you have to worry about is pretty much like power weapons, but more so power fists. Pretty much the only thing that are really going to take you down like quick. Other than that, you pretty much can stand on your own. You're fearless. One of the only really negative things about it is Wraith Sight, which is like every turn, you know, if you have a psyker or like what are they called, seer, a speared seer, you don't have to worry about it. But if you don't have that, within 6 inches of a Wraith guard, you have to take like a test. You roll a die, and if you get a 1, they just kind of stand there, which kind of sucks because it could happen in a very, you know, pivotal type of, you know, moment in the game where they can just, you know, you can fail that and then they just overrun you and everything becomes bad. But usually, I mean, that's only a 1 in 6 chance, so it usually doesn't happen. They're armed with the Wraith Cannon, which is crazy. Wraith Cannon always wins on a 2 or higher, and you know, if you get a 6, and when you roll to wound, it inflicts instant death regardless of toughness, you know, of the victim, which is insane. And against armor, you know, tanks and vehicles, if a 3 on like a glancing hit on a 3 or 4 and a penetrating hit on a 5 or 6, its range is kind of short, but the AP's a 2, 1 shot. So again, you can kind of take out a lot of stuff with this as long as you're in range. A lot of heavy stuff, hard stuff to kill. Alright, Howling Banshees are the next. They're 16 points a model. I gotta find them. Howling Banshees are pretty sweet. Like, their strength's only a 3 for the most part, which kind of sucks. Because, I mean, most of the time you're going to be wounding on like 5s, but you strike at initiative 10, and they all have power weapons, I believe. Yeah, power weapon, right? And they have fleet of foot, which is nice. So you can kind of like, if you use them right, you know, you can move them up, charge them, hit them with initiative 10 power weapons. That's insane. Again, it's only strength 3, but you know, I mean, it's still going to be really nice. That you're probably almost always going to go first. And you know, if you have like guide, if you use guide, you could really do some damage there. Let's see. You can give them an X-Arch for 12 points. I'm not going to go through all the, you know, stuff you can kind of give them, like the Triskele, which is kind of cool. 3 shots or whatever, 12 inches. But basically, I kind of like the Mirror Sword or the Triskele. You can give them War Shout and Acrobat for 5 points each. Let's see, War Shout. And War Shout's okay. They just take the enemy just takes a test if they're in close combat with you, and you know, if they fail, they get like weapon skill of 1, which isn't bad. But I kind of like Acrobatic. It's really nice. You have counter attacks, and now you even get another attack if they charge you. You know, so now you're striking, you know, 2 initiative 10 power weapons. That's pretty crazy. Alright, and they're 16 points. The last ones are Harlequins, and they're 18 points a model. I usually don't use Harlequins. I mean, the reason why is because you don't have any armor saves, but you do have an invulnerable save of a 5, which is kind of nice. I just feel that, you know, 18 points for a 5 is not really that great, but they're very versatile. I mean, you could bring they have tons of upgrades you can kind of bring, like, you know, Death Jesters and Shadow Seers and all this crazy stuff. But one thing that I do like about them is the fact that they all have 2 attacks. They have the hit and run rule, you know, furious like assault charge, which is great. They ignore difficult terrain, and you know, if you upgrade them with a Harlequin's Kiss, you basically have rending in close combat, which is crazy because they all have 2 attacks. So, I mean, you just run them up there, smash this whatever rending with rending 2. If you have 5 of them, you get 10 attacks, and you probably have like 2 rending right there. So they are very versatile. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna go over everything you can do with them, but because I don't really use them, I don't really know them as well. But again, they're pretty good if you like them. I would suggest using them. They're your close combat, really good. All right.